Hey everyone, I'm Ian Douglas, the author of the website techinterview.guide. I do live streams every Sunday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern about topics relevant to interview preparation for the tech industry. I occasionally record longer Q&A sessions, and I've started to break those into smaller videos to post. And there'll be information at the end of this video about how to get in contact with me if you have additional questions. Let's get to it. Next one on my list, how important is it to learn JavaScript as a programmer? Depends what kind of programming you want to do. JavaScript is being used for a lot of things. It's still a huge percentage of the use of JavaScript is for front-end development, for browser-based applications and mobile-based applications, using things like React Mobile and so on. But there is a lot of back-end development happening in JavaScript, but back-end JavaScript, depending on your environment and the kind of code that you're writing and what it's doing, may not be as performant as other languages. How important is it that you learn JavaScript? If you're a back-end developer and you're applying for a back-end role that requires JavaScript, then it's important to learn JavaScript. So like many other answers tonight, I'm going to say it depends. And it feels like kind of a cop-out as an answer, but it depends on what you want to do with your career. If you want to be sort of the quote-unquote full-stack engineer, you're going to have to learn some JavaScript. If you want to be able to kind of move around on a team and be able to fit in comfortably in different kinds of roles, you'll probably want to learn some JavaScript. Is it absolutely necessary if you're just doing back-end development, just doing API design and stuff like that? Probably not. But again, it depends on the kinds of companies. So I think it's okay to dabble in it, maybe do a project or two. But I don't know. I mean, if you want to be an expert in it, go be an expert in JavaScript. There's nothing wrong with it. It's an okay language. It's not as performant as other compiled languages, but neither are Python and Ruby. I mean, all the high-level interpreted languages are going to be slower than compiled languages right now, given today's hardware and the state of interpreters versus compilers and things like that. That's just the reality of it. A compiled language is always going to be faster. So if you're doing back-end development work, a compiled language is generally going to be faster all the time. But it also comes into play, I could write really lousy Java code and really lousy C# or Go code that performs worse than highly optimized, highly efficient JavaScript. So, I mean, it depends on who's writing the code as well. So how important is it? Again, it kind of depends on whether it's important to you for where you want to take your career. So hopefully that. Hey, thanks for watching. I love helping people out with interview prep, and I hope this video helped you in some way. If you found this Q&A useful, please consider subscribing. You can follow me on Twitch as well for the live stream twice a week. Check out techinterview.guide/streaming for more information. I also have a daily email series that you can subscribe to on the website. There are never any ads, and when you finish the series, I scrub your information out of my database permanently. Finally, if you have a question that you'd like answered on the stream, you can find my contact info on techinterview.guide. I prefer LinkedIn or email. If you leave your question in a YouTube comment, it might take me longer to find it, but I'll see you next time.